We're Mark and Donna. For the past year, we have been traveling across the USA to share the beauty of this great country. In today's episode, we are showcasing the National Historic Site of Harpers Ferry, a small West Virginia town with a whole lot of history. Come along with us as we hike the area's best trail, explore and learn about the historical landmark, and find some delicious food. Let's jump into it. You ready?
Let's go. Bella just jumped.
We parked at the train station, which is what you are hearing, and we're trying to find the start of the trail, and we already don't know where we are. We are on track. We found the trail. We found the bridge we're about to cross right there.
Bella's afraid to go down these stairs because they're like see-through.
I got you, baby.
Well, Mark's gonna pick her up and bring her down. Good, such a great dog, Dad.
She's such a baby.
Oh.
It's okay, Bella. It's scary, I know. So today we are doing the Maryland Heights Trail, which is a 4.5-mile hike that takes you up and has a lookout over the city of Harpers Ferry. It is moderate rated and is supposed to have 1,000 feet of elevation, so it's probably gonna be pretty steep going up. The reason we're starting so early is because we heard this hike gets super busy later in the day and we wanted to beat the crowds. Plus, we didn't want to worry about the hassle of trying to find a parking spot. And by the way, you do get free parking at the train station as long as you have a National Park annual pass, which was super nice. This is a National Historic Site, so it is run by the National Park Service. We were hoping to get up to the peak around sunrise to kind of watch the sunrise over the city and get that golden hour lighting, but there's no way we're going to make that in time because we got about 30 minutes to get to the top, and it's about 2 miles and very steep. Should still be good lighting, hopefully, and either way, we're happy to be here having a good time.
Not only is this a beautiful trail, but it also holds a historical significance. The Maryland Heights Lookout was actually a key battleground in the Civil War as it gave a strategic advantage to holding the town of Harpers Ferry. The very first battle of the Civil War in Maryland was actually fought here, and both Union and Confederate troops hiked this exact path during the war, which is pretty wild to think about. I will say it is a fairly steep hike at times on the way up, but once you get to the top, you'll see that the climb is completely worth it. Here you'll find a panoramic view of the town of Harpers Ferry and can even look out onto 3 different states.
We started in West Virginia, which is where we parked at the train station. We are now in Maryland here at the Overlook, and we are looking out over both Virginia on this side and West Virginia. So we're within 3 states, all within 30 minutes of each other. And what's even cooler is right behind me is the Point, which is the area where the Potomac River and the Shenandoah River converge together. Really cool, and the lookout is incredible. There is a peregrine falcon nesting area right up here as well, and we just saw one fly by, which was super cool. I've never seen one in the wild. They are the fastest bird in the world. They can actually reach speeds of over 200 miles per hour, which is crazy. And we actually just saw him dive. I wasn't able to get it on camera, but I didn't catch the dive, but he dove so fast. It was unreal. That was super cool. This hike is awesome. I'm so glad we came here. We're now heading back down so we can actually go explore the town of Harpers Ferry next. We'll see you there.
Made it back,
Good
Bella.
job, guys.
Great job.
High five. That was awesome. We did it.
We just woke up from a much needed nap, so we feel rested and awake, and we're now ready to explore around Harpers Ferry. This town was a key battleground state during the Civil War. It actually changed hands 8 times between the Union and the Confederacy. It was also the endpoint of the first successful American railroad. So there's a ton of history here. We're gonna go explore around. I think there's a lot of cool museums, shops, and just old buildings to check out. So let's go see what we can find.
Harpers Harpers Ferry reminds us of one of our favorite cities in Florida, St. Augustine. With its old alleyways, historic buildings, and interesting history, it feels like we're taking a walk through time. Plus, we've also enjoyed the walkability with Bella. We've been parked in the same spot all day and enjoyed exploring the city.
We ended up spending most of the afternoon just wandering around Harpers Ferry and exploring all of its historic streets. There's lots to see and do here, and we really enjoyed checking out the free museums, which are dog friendly, grabbing some delicious coffee and food at Battlegrounds Coffee, and learning about the historical significance of this town. There's so much to learn here, and I won't bore you with too much of the history, but we really enjoyed hearing and learning about the story and impact of John Brown. So one of the things Harpers Ferry is most well known for is John Brown. For those who don't know, John Brown was a lifelong abolitionist who fought his entire life for the freedom of slaves and to end slavery. In 1859, he and a group of 21 men led a raid here on Harpers Ferry to take over the U.S. Armory, which sat in the location that we are currently sitting in. Their goal was to hopefully lead to a slave rebellion and revolt to rise up and end slavery. They were successful in actually taking over the armory and capturing all the US weapons that were held here. However, they'd never achieved their final dream to end slavery, at least not in his lifetime. This building you see right behind me though is what's known as John Brown's Fort. This is where they actually held up for 2 days after they had captured the armory. Now unfortunately, Robert E. Lee and the army did end up coming here. They captured or killed most of John Brown's men. They did actually capture John Brown himself alive and ended up trying him for treason, where he was found guilty, therefore executed and hanged a few months later. Sadly, he never saw his dream come to fruition of ending slavery. However, this event was one of the sparks that led to the Civil War, and therefore in the end his dream did come about, although unfortunately at the loss of many thousands of lives. They're estimating that over 700,000 people died during the Civil War itself. Fortunately, his memory is able to live on through buildings like this where you can visit, and today he is remembered as a hero and a martyr.
Alright, we have walked all over Harpers Ferry. There's one more place though we gotta go before we leave. It is a little bit outside the downtown section, but the food looks amazing. It is about a mile walk, but hopefully it'll be worth it.
For dinner, we made a stop at Kelly's Farm Kitchen, and although it's a little outside the historic section of Harpers Ferry, I think you'll find it's worth the journey. This local eatery came highly recommended and specializes in all plant-based cuisine. We loved the ambiance and welcoming vibe, and everyone here was super friendly. Chef Randy even came over to talk to us and tell us all about her delicious creations. We ended up ordering a Philly seitan cheesesteak, mac and cheese, and some of the best ramen we have ever had.
Some of the best ramen I think I've ever had.
I agree.
We seriously can't recommend this place enough, and it was a great way to finish off our time in Harpers Ferry.
We just made it back to the train station. We are about to head out from Harpers Ferry. Kelly Farm Kitchen, by the way, was incredible. It's one of the best restaurants I think I've ever eaten at. The food was amazing. The people were so cool there. The chef came up and introduced herself to us and told us all about the food. So highly recommend Kelly Farm Kitchen. It's definitely worth the walk outside the main Harpers Ferry area.
Best ramen I've ever had. And
So
I hear that Wednesdays are the days to go for ramen. So if you go eat there, definitely go on a Wednesday if you want to try their amazing ramen.
Super good. This about wraps up our Harpers Ferry video though. Hopefully you did enjoy it. I had a blast though. I'm not gonna lie, when I was coming here, I didn't think it was gonna be that great. I'm like, all right, it's just gonna be an old city, you know, some old historic houses and stuff, but it actually like way exceeded my expectations, from the history to the views, to the food, to the people. Like everything here was awesome, and I'm so glad we came.
I just didn't like the bugs.
There are a lot of bugs. They don't bite, but there's a lot of bugs, and they're just kind of annoying.
Aside from the bugs though, I agree. If you're someone that enjoys history, loves good food and friendly people, and appreciates just the outdoors, I think you will love Harpers Ferry.
If you haven't been here, definitely add this to your list. It's such a cool place.
Bug.
Hopefully this gave you some ideas of things to do when you visit here as well. Up next, we're gonna be heading further into West Virginia to check out some different areas, so definitely stay tuned. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe and like this video if you did enjoy it. We'll catch you guys next time, and as always,
Stay wild.
stay wild.
Hi. Oh, you hyper. Oh, you hyper.
Oh, shoot.
And knock.
You started recording.
I was recording. You crazy. You crazy girl.